to go the other way around, like not. I'm great at these live videos. I want it to go panoramic sideways, not this way up. Anyway, I've got no choice. Welcome to my garage. There's nobody watching, so it's a completely wrong time of day, wrong day of the week, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I'm just going to leave this running until somebody appears so I can actually chat to people. Let's see what happens. I'm just sorting all my fishing gear out for a 5-day trip. Hello, somebody is online. Who's there? Let me see if I can go onto the chat. Devon carp fishing. It's just me and you. How you doing? You alright? I'm just getting stuff ready for like a 5-day session. Just having a cup of tea. Leaving tomorrow morning about 6 o'clock in the morning. I've just got stuff everywhere. I'm taking so much stuff because I'm trying to cater for every situation. So let me pick you up and just give you a wander around my garage. Hopefully the footage is okay and not pixelated. So down here I've got spods, leaders, PVA, do I need 3 catapults? I've got a bivvy here, I've got another bivvy over here. Got all my sun cream, got loads of rods, as you can see. They're my 12-foot rods, so I probably won't use them, but I'm seeing how many rods I've got, whether I need to actually use one for zig fishing or surface fishing. So where are you going? I'm going to North Lake, Elphicks fishery, North Lake. Yeah, it's a real big trip. There's 8 of us going to be fishing, and I'm going to be using a different bait this time. I'm going to be using the nutty bait from Munch Baits. So going away from my usual Scopex squid. Bit risky, but who else is there? Kevin Houghton, hello mate. Devon carp fishing. I'm a big fan of your YouTube channel. Ah, that's good to hear, thanks. Adela Aben, how are you? I'm pretty good. I didn't sleep last night. Normally the night before I go fishing I don't sleep because I'm too excited, but last night was 2 days before I'm going and I didn't sleep then, so I'm proper excited for this trip. Too excited really. Just going to put you down. I need to get on with setting up rods and stuff. Let me just show you this quickly. Instead of just a normal spom, it won't close. I don't even know how to use it yet. There you go. Instead of a normal spom, this one is made by Corum and it's supposed to be for river fishing. So when you cast out with a normal spom and it hits the surface, it opens up and all your bait floats down. With this one, you cast out and it doesn't open when it hits the water. It opens when it hits the bottom of the lake. So it'll go down, hit the bottom, then open, so your bait is more concentrated in one spot. That's why it's supposed to be for rivers. So I might use that on the lake just to get a good concentration of bait instead of spreading it around. Yeah. What else can I tell you? Let me show you what else. Hopefully I can't see where I'm aiming because I'm doing like a selfie view. Over there I've got my massive oval bed chair. It takes up so much space in the car, but you want a bit of comfort when you're fishing for a good few days. I've got a weigh tripod, I've got my weigh sling, I've got my Nash Titan T1 bivvy, I've got, what is that? That's an umbrella with sides. That's going to be that's going to be set up alongside my bivvy, so I can put a chair beneath that. It's going to be a little cooking station, so I don't have to do it all cramped inside my bivvy. So I'm going to take a brolly. It's going to be the cooking station. Long black thing up the wall there is my, what's it called, Nash bushwhacker. I've not really used my Nash bushwhacker. I've got no use out of it so far. I tried to use it at Elphicks and it didn't quite work out, especially because the wind was just too strong. I need to use that bushwhacker. Cost me enough. So who's in the chat? Let me see. How long are you going for, mate? Says Ken. It's 5 days, sleeping for 4 nights, and the 5th day you can stay till the end of the day. So 5 nights on the bank. I've got so much food. I always take way too much, but I've got loads of grub. We're going to have barbecues while we're there. What's that? Are you from the Philippines? Adela Aben? Wow, you're watching from the Philippines. You know what? I don't do enough of these live videos, and it's amazing who tunes in. So thanks for tuning in, Adela. Down here, I don't know if you can see very well from this, but this is my Scopet squid syrup. It's going to be going on some of my baits, and I'm using hemp oil. Going to put this on pellets. And also, I think my foam of my zig rigs, I'll probably soak a bit of hemp oil into the foam, because you can see the oil on the surface, or if you put oil into the lake, it kind of creates a flat area, doesn't it? So a bit of extra attractant for the carp, maybe. Got a whole bucket of pellets down here. Gonna take you over to my refrigerator. No, it's not, it's the freezer. Hang on. I've got 5 kilo of corn to take with me. I'm going to take it. I don't know if I'm going to use it all. It depends how the carp react to my bait. If I start getting pickups on the rod where I'm putting corn out, then I'll start introducing a bit more corn and just go from there. It's hard to tell. The weather's still not super warm. I'm going to be fishing boilie and crumb, probably pellet as well, and corn in a spud mix on 1 or 2 rods. 3rd rod is just going to be, if I can get the swim I want, the 3rd rod is going to go down into the margin, and it's only about 2 rod lengths out from the bank. But in my previous video of North Lake from last year, my friend Scott, who just seems to win every year, he catches the biggest fish every year. His name is on the trophy for the first 3 years in a row. So hopefully somebody else can get their name on the trophy this year. But where he caught the biggest fish and the most fish last time, I'm hoping to get in that swim. It's a real small chuck out with your rod, and you can just hand a few boilies out into that area. Afternoon, Si. Who's that? Lemon? Is that Lemon? Sorry. My eyes are bad. Lemon and Jay's fishing. How you doing? You alright? Yeah, I'm just going to fish the margin. It's a real short chuck. And my mate had a 53, I think. He had a 53 pounder from that area last time. Doesn't mean you're going to catch a 50 in that spot again, but it's the deepest end of the lake. It looks like it's going to be rainy, a little bit windy, a bit cloudy. So that's the deeper end of the lake. So I'm thinking the fish might be sticking to the deep end. If the sun comes out, then I've probably got no chance to go to the shallow end of the lake. But all depends on where I come out in the draw as well. There's 8 of us fishing. I came out first last. This doesn't mean you're going to catch a fish coming out first in the draw. Last year, I came out first and I blanked. It was a 5-day blank. I've never done such a long session and blank before. It was a killer. So fingers crossed it'll be different this time round. What's your PB? My PB is from North Lake at Elphicks. um, 2 years ago, £34 10 ounces. Yeah, there's pictures of it online. It was a beautiful fish, a real scaly mirror. Um, and I don't know how big it was, but my friend Scott, who bloody catches everything down there, he caught the fish I caught the year later, but I don't know how big it was. I'll have to ask him if it had put on weight in that year. So yeah, my biggest fish was that £34 10 ounce mirror. And on the same session, I caught my first grass carp, which was £27, I think. I think it's a 27 pound grass carp. Who's that? Wet Lines. Wet Lines. I was going to message you, Wet Lines. I'm fishing down on the plantation lake, and I wondered if you fancied joining me. It's weird. I was just thinking about it this morning. I was thinking, who fishes Elphicks and who might want to come along and do a session with me? And Wet Lines, because I watched your video yesterday, I was thinking, I might drop you an email or a message on Instagram. So yeah, look out for a message from me, and if you're available, I'm trying to think which month I'm fishing plantation. Might be September. So if you're available, yeah, look out for a message. Very nice. I've got to go. What's that? I can't. I'm well old. Look, I have to take my glasses off to read the little writing. Very nice. I've not got over £23 at the moment, but £23, I really do count that as a big fish. You see some people online, they go, oh, just a little one this time, and it's a 20-pounder, and I'm thinking that's not a little fish. I don't even a double, like above 10. I'm really happy with catching a double figure fish. Oh, sorry, getting wrapped up with this thing on the floor. A 23-pounder is still a big old lump, I think. What have you said, Devon? Devon carp fishing. Wet Lines, big fan of you too. Yes, Wet Lines. Have you reached 5,000 yet? Because I saw your short this morning, and I saw that Wet Lines needed just a couple more subscribers to reach the 5,000 mark, and I'm about 100 away from 2,000 subscribers. So yeah, I'm quite a way behind, but yeah, it all takes time, doesn't it? Okay, over here, this is made by Westlake. What's the shop called? I think it was Go Outdoors. Is that the Westlake stuff? I think it is. Anyway, I've got this fake grassy mat for my bivvy, so a bit of comfort for my 5 days down on North Lake. Got my brand new Pro Logic. You might have seen the video I did on the Pro Logic unhooking mat. I wanted something with a thick, the mat of it's like 70mm, so I've gone for this Pro Logic one. It looks almost the same as the Fox unhooking mat, pretty much identical. Like the ends have got zips on, so when you take the fish to the water, you can just slide the fish out. But the Pro Logic one was much cheaper than the Fox, so yeah. I can't work at the moment. I'm just at home with my daughter all the time, and there's benefits to it. I can go fishing fairly often. The other thing that's not great, I don't earn any money, so it's a bit of a pain, but at least I can make lots of videos and talk to you guys. Who said what? SFN, you've got a strange name. SFNR1L3Y. I live in Shoreham, got some good chub down there. I put a short up about 2 weeks ago. I was in Shoreham. I went to that restaurant called The Mount. It's a bit posh, but it's not too pricey. I had a pizza, then we walked down to Shoreham along the river, where the bridge goes over the river, where the cars can go over. And I was watching the dace and the chub, and I chatted to a fella, and I said, can you actually fish this river in Shoreham? And he was like, yeah. And he told me where to walk along the river to catch some real decent chub and some big dace. So I was like, keep that in the back of my mind for a future video. So you live in Shoreham. Lemon and Jade's fishing. I was struggling catching carp for a good 8 months, but I found a local bait company, and since then I've been catching some nice fish. Okay, so what bait was you using before you started catching? Oh, so you was blanking on a certain bait and then you got this new bait. That's interesting. I think bait does make a difference. That's why I just stick to what I normally use, Scopex squid or mainline cell. Taking a bit of a risk using munch baits on my next trip, but a friend of mine who fished North Lake in August last year, everybody caught, and there was 3 fellas using the nutty bait from Munch Baits on the North Lake, and they all caught. So I thought, as it's really cheap and I'm not working, I'm trying to save money, 5 kilos of the nutty stuff is 20 quid, I think. So that's a bargain. So if it's going to catch a fish, why wouldn't you use it? So I'm going to give it a go. It could replace my Scopex squid. You never know. You never know. Devon Carp. I've only got 13 subscribers. I used to have 13 subscribers. Don't worry, keep at it. The way to get more subscribers, I think, is just to keep making more videos. My early videos were not great, and over time I think they're improving the way I edit them and put them together. I like to make sure there's some decent music in the videos. I think that creates a bit of atmosphere and kind of a little bit of a story to the videos if I can get it right. And I learned from other people like Wetlines and all the other channels. I watched a Calder video this morning on zig fishing, because I might do a bit of zig fishing on North Lake if things are quiet. And I just watched what they do with the filming, and I think one part of it, they missed the run. So what they did, they sort of blanked out the screen, did the sound of a buzzer, beep, 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 and then cut to the video where he was playing a fish. So little things like that can just add to the video. If you miss the run, you can still put the sound of a bite alarm over the top and stuff like that. It depends if you're really into the video making or the editing like I am. I really enjoy it, but I know everyone works and it's hard to find the time to sit and edit a video and make it as good as you want it to. Yes, 13 subscribers. Keep going, keep fishing, keep making the videos. Right, you know what? I'm supposed to be getting stuff ready and I'm just talking to you guys. Let me put you down. I'm just going to walk over here and get my rods. So in here is my 3 carp rods that I use for every venue I go to. Just because most of the places I fish, they're not huge lakes, so my 10-foot Witchwood rods are good enough, especially for Elphicks because they're not big lakes. This is a Tutti Frutti pop-up I used on my last trip. You might have seen the video where I caught that, the fish called the glass. Well, this rod blanked the other rod in there that I was using Scopex squid boilies on. I caught that, the glass fish, it was £26. But I was thinking the bright baits, because it was still springtime, would catch me a fish, but bright baits did nothing on that day. I'm going to take my bright baits with me to Elphicks, but I know so many people do catch on bright baits, but I don't. It's really weird, right? You see all these videos of people catching with bright baits, and they don't work for me. You see everyone catching using glugs and liquids. Whenever I add extra flavour to my baits, I blank. It's really weird. if I go a bit more simple and basic, just boilies, maybe boilies soaked in a syrup is as far as I go with flavours. I catch. If I go full on flavour, I blank. I don't know. Other people catch on it, so I think it's just me. So here we go. This boilie Ambrig is what I caught the glass on in that video, that recent video. Still got the same boilie on because I had to pack up and rush off because I was meeting my friends at a Chinese. So yeah, still smells of scopex squid. It's a wafter, by the way. And also, let me show you quickly. It's not a really long hair, but I've started to use longer hairs because the more I read about it and more videos I watch. Have you seen the length of the hairs they use in Europe? Honest, it's like that far beneath the hook. It's like down here. They use the longest hairs, but I guess they're fishing for real monster carp in Europe. But I've heard that a long hair can make the fish take a bit more confidently. When it's too tight up to the hook, there's no movement. Sorry, when it's really tight up to the hook, there's not enough movement really. So the old long hair does the trick. Well, it did last time anyway. 1 rod, 2 rod. Oh, hang on. That's the wrong rod. I forgot I had a zig rod in this pouch. I made up some zigs for this trip as well. So this was a bit of black foam with a bit of yellow glued on top. I've made some more foams up for, well, some more 2-foot adjustable zigs for this that Ridge Monkey Ziggo. Best zig setup I've ever used. But I've made up some. I'm not drunk with tea. I've made up some more foam of different colours. I've got one that are just completely black, some tipped off with yellow, some tipped off with red, and I went with red because, what's his name? Adam Honeysett. What's his channel called? Carp Graft. I watched Adam Honeysett, and he wasn't getting anything on the bottom. And his previous video, his son caught 1 or 2 fish on Pullen's Lake down at Elphicks on zigs. So I think Adam Honeysett is starting to use zigs a bit more. And then in his video, he was using black foam tipped off with a bit of red foam glued to the top. So I've made up some with black and red as well. So I've got black, red, black, yellow, black on its own, red on its own. I'm just going to give it a go. I think you often, when you're on the North Lake, you do see the fish just cruising beneath the surface. And if you're having a quiet time, you don't have to sit it out until the carp get their heads down. You can either surface fish or get the zigs out. So that's what I'm going to be doing on this trip. If it's quiet for a bit too long and there's a bit of sunshine, the zig's going to be going out there, definitely. Ugh, cold tea. I've really got everything this time. My car's going to be so packed. I've got quite a big car. I've got a Dacia or Dacia. I don't even know how to say it. I've had a Dacia for 6 years, and I still don't know how to say the name. Dacia. And it's a Duster, so it's quite a big car, and I can only just about get everything in when I go fishing. It's mental. I just take too much stuff. Binoculars this time. I say this every time I go and do like a long session, that I'm going to set my alarm, wake up in the morning and watch the water, spotting fish, casting to them, trying to improve my catch rate. And then when I'm actually on the bank, I'm still having a little snooze at 9 in the morning. I'm just too lazy. Thing is, I don't sleep good when I'm night fishing. I don't sleep well, so you end up sleeping in the morning when you should be up watching the water. Walkie-talkies. We had them on the lake last year, but we only had 2, so Scott was on the opposite end of the lake to me, so we was radioing back and forth. I've bought a box, another friend's bought a box, so we've got 6 on the bank. Because you don't want to be shouting across the lake saying, how big is your fish? So we can just radio through if we need help with a fish or anything, or if we want someone to take photos, we can just walkie-talkie for help. These were 20 quid on Amazon, bargain. Got me sun cream. I don't know what else to talk about. I'm running out of things to talk about. I'm supposed to be just setting up my rods while I'm chatting to you. Sun cream. Because I know Danny Fairbrass always, and rightly so, always goes on about wearing sun cream because of his illness he had, or he's still got, I'm not sure. So yeah, this is my ProLogic unhooking mat. Big enough for a 50 if I'm lucky. Well, 40. Anything actually, any fish will do me. As long as I don't blank again. Got my distance sticks. Not that I don't often use them, you know. I just maybe that's why I'm blanking last time. Distance sticks. Maybe I should be using them and fishing accurately. I really must start loading the car up, you know, because I've got all my food to sort out still. It's just been delivered. I don't do shopping. I was going to say I hate people. I just don't like shopping. I don't like having people around me. So have them bringing the food to me is ideal. So pardon me, I do my shopping online and it gets delivered. My tablet will go in there, so in the evenings attach it to your bed. You don't have to hold it like that. So I've downloaded a few bits to watch, Netflix and stuff. Oh, my Ridge Monkey. Did I win this one? I can't remember. I was really lucky and I won loads of Ridge Monkey luggage. I can't remember what capital carp competition or one of those, can't remember. Anyway, I got loads of Ridge Monkey bags and I ended up with this cooler, and it probably, I'd say about 3 days stuff stays cool in this Ridge Monkey. Things maximum of 3 days frozen. I don't think it'll go any longer than that. I've seen better ones out there, but it does the job. I don't often fish. This is a rare experience, fishing 5 days from tomorrow. Normally I do 1 or 2 nights maximum. That's all I can fit in. That's all I'm allowed. Not allowed, but you know what I mean. The missus thinks she needs a bit of free time as well. It's quite cool. You get a beer opener on the top. Not that I really drink alcohol anymore. It just makes me feel rubbish. So yes, that's me Ridge Monkey. Cool box. Let me just move some stuff around and I'll show you down here on the floor. Okay, here we go. This is the Munch Baits. It smells so good. This is the Munch Baits Nutty There's 5 kilo of bait in there, and a few days ago I put some glug on it. You can also buy the nutty glug to go with a munch bait boilies, or whichever boilie you're going for. They do the glug to match. It smells great. Not only that, I put some of the vanilla syrup on, or liquid. So I poured some vanilla on and some nutty liquid. They really absorb. Oh, bloody hell, see that? Flew out of my hand. They really do absorb, so I don't know whether to soak them in water. I keep getting different opinions online. I posted the question, do you soak your baits in lake water or tap water? Some people said, this was interesting. Let me duck down. Some people said they soak their boilies in water from the water butt, like rainwater. And one other person said he soaks his boilies in seawater. I couldn't believe it. I was like, it kind of makes sense, really, if you think about people that use salt on their boilies for carp. Seawater makes sense. Salty water. I've never heard of that before. I wonder how many people actually do soak their baits in salt water, seawater. They smell great. Over here, I need to add a bit more syrup to these before I go. Over here, this is coming with me as well. I know that's back to front, sorry, but Baker's Meaty Meals Small Dog. They do larger ones for surface fishing. But when I was down there before, the carp wasn't too keen on big mixers. And there was, it's quite well known, there's a real old fella that, uses a fly rod down there to catch carp off the surface. And when I was on Sandwich Lake, he was using really tiny mixers and he was doing really well. And when I chatted to him, he said they're just avoiding the big mixers, but the smallest mixers they were taking. So I've gone for these smaller ones. I need to check them out actually. I've never used them before. I'm probably gonna, before I actually use them on the lake, I'm probably going to put a bit of hemp oil on them. Might attract the fish a little bit more. And apparently they're really soft, so I'm gonna set up a surface rod. And these are hookable, so you don't have to have a hair, you can put the hook just straight through them. So that is that. Sorry, I've stopped looking at the comments. Let me see, any more comments? Oh no, no more comments. That's all right. In there I've got spare PVA. I mean, this is all spare extra bait. This is going to stay in the cart until I need it, apart from the mixers. Scopex squid boilies, in case the nutty baits from Munch Baits isn't working. I've got my Scopex squid with me. Got a few kilo of the Scopex squid pellets. Scopex squid spray for the hook baits. State. More PVA. Sorry, I know the writing's back to front, but you can see what it is. It's the Munch Baits. I think they're full, yeah, they do their boilies in 14 mil size instead of 15. Another 5 kilo, the nut mix from Munch Baits. And cell pellets. I've got a bucket of 5 kilo of cell pellets. And if they produce on one rod, I can always go back to the car, top up the pellets. And let me stand up. And it all depends on the fish. Depends how they're feeding. Depends how much bait they want. And I keep referring to my friend Scott, but he's the one who's caught all the fish. So we kind of have to we have to look at what he's done in previous trips that's worked. And he really hasn't fished heavy with bait. He's literally, that's part of the reason I'm using a longer hair. My friend's got the hook quite a long hair. He just casts out, pulls out maximum of 10 boilies, even less. And he is the one whose name is on the trophy 3 years in a row. So just because they're monster fish in that North Lake, it doesn't mean you have to be putting tons of bait in. Scott's just catapulting a few boilies around his hook bait, and it's produced 3 years in a row. So I've got a feeling I'll be bringing a lot of this bait back home with me. Yeah, I'm not going to go heavy with the bait. I don't want to put loads of bait in the lake and just waste it, and it's just going to be sitting there until the fish want to go on the feed. Small amounts of bait to start with, and just take it from there. We've got 5 days to make something happen on the North Lake, and I think the biggest fish, I don't know what the biggest fish is. Scott's fish, that 53 pounder he caught last time, wasn't the biggest fish in North Lake. I think there's a 56 or 57 pound mirror, so there might be one fish bigger than that 53 Scott had. Never know, you never know, but it all depends. The biggest problem is, all depends how many fish have been caught today and the previous days. We go fishing tomorrow, and when we went last year, the group of men that was on the lake before us had caught so many fish, it was ridiculous. It was like they caught all the biggest fish in the lake. I can't even remember, it was something mental, right? Like 30-40 pounders or something like that, and 350s, something like that. They caught an extreme amount of big fish in the time they were there. And then we turned up, and the bailiff of Elphicks said to us, they've really cleaned up, you might struggle. And then that's when we blanked for the first 3 days on Elphicks. Well, I blanked for the 5 days, but it weren't until the end of the third day, almost coming into day 4, I think my friend Paul had the first fish and the second fish. He went home. Scott jumped into his swim in the deeper end of the lake, and then Scott continued catching in that swim. So that was the place to be. So we're a bit reliant on what's been caught before we actually turn up. Anyway, I'm going to have to go soon. Wow, I've been talking, rattling on for 38 minutes apparently. Thanks for everyone who's tuned in and listened to me waffle on. It's weird, when you do a live video, it actually records it and it ends up on your channel. So this video will be there for anyone who wants to listen back, or anyone who's missed it, because it's, what's the time? It's only about 12 o'clock on a Tuesday, so most people are at work. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Look out for the video for North Lake Elphicks. Hopefully I don't blank this time. If I catch something bigger than 34 pound 10 ounces, that's going to be my PB. Fingers crossed. Right, take care everyone. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. How'd you turn this off?